Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Marked, another St. Louis sports edition. As I'm focusing on the St. Louis Blues, I am standing outside the Enterprise Center where the St. Louis Blues have made their home since 1994. And they are bitter rivals with the Chicago Blackhawks, which ironically, because of the team's organization, yes, this team was born in 1967. But in this episode, I am focusing on the unpredictable season from 2018 and 2019, in which the St. Louis Blues landed their first ever Stanley Cup. So I'm going to go ahead and show you around outside the place, and then I'll show you some markers that mark their postseason during the unpredictable season. So here we go. So this is the main entrance of the Enterprise Center, and there are three statues which make up the Blues Hall of Fame Plaza. That one is the statue of Al McGinnis, Benny Federico, and Brett Hull, just farther down there. So, St. Louis Blues, they were one of the 6 teams as part of the 1967 National Hockey League expansion. The team was named after the popular early 20th century song St. Louis Blues. That's right. Well, I mean, that should come as no surprise to anyone. But just by coincidence, maybe, W.C. Handy, who composed the tune in 1914, he lived right at this spot, which was once the Chestnut Valley neighborhood. It, of course, is long gone, but it once existed on this spot, or in this area. But he played music on Targhee Street, which was part of the neighborhood. So, the team that now plays on this spot is now called the St. Louis Blues. How about that? So for many years and decades, they were known as the Lovable Losers in hockey, as they came many times close in the postseason to get into the Stanley Cup finals. And of course, let alone winning one. But in October 2018, a regular hockey season started, and it was just like, you know, per usual for all St. Louis Blues hockey fans. By January 2019, they were in last place in their league. But the team persevered, and they rallied like crazy to get the Stanley Cup. And their postseason is all highlighted right here at the St. Louis Blues Champions Walk. Here we go. It's going to have a little bit of quotes and everything. All right. We'll have this forever, St. Louis. I can't think of a better group of teammates, family, friends, and fans to have shared it with. Forever champs. That was said by St. Louis Blues captain Alex Pietrangelo in 2019. Round 1, St. Louis Blues versus Winnipeg Jets. Blues win series 4-2. As one of the memorable moments, round 1, game 1. Tyler Bozak breaks a 1-1 tie with just 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game at Winnipeg to give the Blues their first of 16 wins in the 2019 playoffs. Also that game, Jordan Binnington quiets doubters with a stellar performance despite chants of "you look nervous" from Winnipeg whiteout crowd. Round 1, game 3. Hey buddy, we're here. Blues alumni welcome fans to Enterprise Center for first playoffs home game. The refrain would echo throughout its postseason run. Game 5 of round 1, Jaden Schwartz scores arguably the biggest goal in round 1, with 15 seconds remaining in regulation, helping the Blues to a comeback win in a 3-2 series lead. Round 1, game 6, the last of the plaques. Jaden Schwartz stays hot and records his first playoffs hat trick in a 3-2 win to seal the series for the Blues. And things were looking upwards from there. As we go into round 2, St. Louis Blues versus Dallas Stars. Blues win series 4-3. Vladimir Tarasenko follows a power play goal late in the second period with a third period tally that stands as the game winner. Round 2, game 3. Blues and Stars trade 4 goals in a span of 5 minutes and 16 seconds, the last one coming from Patrick Maroon, with 1 minute and 38 seconds remaining to give the Blues the win and a 2-1 series lead. Round 2, Game 6. Colton Parayko's blistering shot rocks Dallas goaltender Ben Bishop, who leaves the game in the 3rd period. Also that game, facing elimination, Blues outduel Stars on the road to earn a 4-1 win and force a Game 7. Here you go. And in Game 7, hometown hero Patrick Maroon scores 5 minutes and 50 seconds into double overtime to send the Blues marching to the Western Conference Final. And now, round 3, St. Louis Blues versus San Jose Sharks. Blues won series 4-2. Round 3, Game 2. After falling behind 1-0 in the series, the Blues fight back with a 4-2 win in San Jose, highlighted by Robert Bortuzzo's first ever Stanley Cup playoffs goal. In Game 3, the Blues lose 5-4 in overtime at home with San Jose's game-winning goal, scored by the infamous illegal hand pass. In Game 5, Jaden Schwartz nets his second hat trick of the playoffs in San Jose, helping the Blues to a 5-0 shutout victory against the Sharks. And in Game 6, the Blues reel off the last of 3 consecutive victories to become the 2019 Western Conference champions. And now here's a quote from the head coach of the Blues. "We are not done, boys." Said in a more serious tone, I know. And lastly, for the first time since the 1969 and 1970 season, the Blues are headed to the Stanley Cup Final against the same team they faced 49 years ago, the Boston Bruins. And that is all detailed just up ahead as we head towards the former Peabody Opera House, but is now the Stifel Theater. And one other thing to note is, for those of us who remember really greatly about the postseason, we all remember when Laura Branigan's hit song Gloria, that was a #2 smash in 1982, that song was given a second life as it became the Blues' unofficial rally song, and it gained a lot of local radio airplay as well as at other functions. So, but now we're going to go into round 4, the St. Louis Blues versus the Boston Bruins. Blues win series 4-3. In round 4, Game 2, Carl Gunnarsson calls his shot in an intermission bathroom conversation with the head coach, and then scores the game winner in overtime as the Blues get their first ever win in a Stanley Cup final. In Game 4, Ryan O'Reilly scores 2 goals, including the game winner. St. Louis sees its first ever Stanley Cup final home win on June 3rd, 2019. And then in Game 7, Jordan Bennington's acrobatic saves in the first period and a goal by Braden Shen in the 3rd period extend the lead to 3-0 and all, but assure the team's first ever championship. I'm not sure why that blue cone is there, maybe fittingly. On June 12, 2019, the Blues win their first Stanley Cup in franchise history by a score of 4-1 at TD Garden in Boston. Ryan O'Reilly is voted MVP, or Most Valuable Player, of the Stanley Cup playoffs, winning the Conn Smythe Trophy. And then here's a quote from Chris Kerber, Blues radio play-by-play announcer. "The game is over. The series is over. The wait is over. And the St. Louis Blues are the Stanley Cup champions for the first time in franchise history." And then in the aftermath, on June 15, 2019, a crowd estimated at over 1 million lines the downtown Market Street Parade route and fills the Gateway Arch grounds. And here's the last historic plaque. The Blues' first ever championship banner is unveiled and lifted to the rafters of Enterprise Center on October 2nd, 2019. Oh yeah. And this is where it all ends, fittingly right in underneath the entrance, the side entrance to Stifle Theater. But this is just the logo. All right, thanks so much for tuning into this special sports edition of Historically Marked. I am Jason. Let's go Blues. I hope the St. Louis Blues continue to win more Stanley Cup trophies in the coming seasons, and may the best of luck come to them. So here I am, Jason, in St. Louis, Missouri, signing off.